Hi everyone, welcome to Java Techie. In this tutorial, I will demonstrate how to manage secrets in Spring Boot or microservice application using AWS Secrets Manager. Okay, alright. As per real-time coding standard, it's always recommended to not hard code any credential of your application and always use some centralized configuration manager where you can store sensitive information of your application with encrypted format. So there is many way where you can keep your sensitive information in some centralized place which we already explored in our previous tutorial. For example, you can use vault secret or you can use console secret. Okay, but if you are using AWS as a cloud service, then why not we'll use AWS provided secret manager rather than using any other third party library, right? So let's deep dive into this AWS secret manager concept and let's understand what are the potential advantages of using it. Basically, if you are using AWS Secret Manager, then it is easy to manage the secrets. For example, let's assume you have large number of application, or you can consider a microservice architecture where you have n number of application. So in that scenario, AWS Secrets Manager provides a central repo where you can set up, control and monitor access to the secrets used by your all microservices automatically. For example, if you have 10 microservices, then you no need to configure those credentials in each and every microservices. They can directly consume from the AWS Secret Manager, whoever want those credentials, right? Apart from that, it provided one more feature, that is secret rotation. For example, if any password changes happen, then you no need to update environment variable or any of your properties file. So this is really out of box, isn't it? So basically what we can do in this tutorial, we'll keep our AWS RDS-DB credential in AWS Secret Manager, and then we'll retrieve those URL, username, password and driver class from our AWS Secrets Manager, and we'll try to establish connection in our Spring Boot application. Okay, so we are going to use this AWS RDS as a source of truth in this example. So let's get started. So if you can remember, this is what the Spring Boot AWS RDS example we discussed one of my previous tutorial, right? So I'm going to use the same source code. So if anyone not aware about this AWS RDS integration, then I would request you please check out my AWS playlist. First learn how you can integrate your Spring Boot application with AWS RDS, then jump into this tutorial. Okay. Now if I'll go to the code, we created one entity class. We have the field ID, name and price, and we have JPA repo here. Then if you'll go to the main class, we created couple of REST endpoint. Save book, get all the book from DB and get the book based on the ID, which will be the input. Okay. And now if you'll go to the configuration, I mean application.properties file, that's where you will find the interesting thing. Now let me maximize this. Yeah. So if you observe, the data source URL is this. It's not my local machine. If you observe, the host is Java Techie DB, then this is what my AWS region and Amazon AWS.com. So if you observe, I created one RDS instance. Now I can show you that. Let's go to the Chrome. Now let me open this RDS. Then just click on this database. Next, here you can see this RDS instance, right? Now if you'll click on this, then if you'll come down, here you can see endpoints, right? So this is what the host we added in our configuration. This application.properties, this is what the endpoint we added. Now our intention is not to hard code these things in our application, right? We just want to move these things to our AWS Secrets Manager. But before we move it, first let's verify our application whether this RDS instance integration is working or not. So what I will do, I will just start my application. So it will open port 5000. You can give any port here. Yeah. So if you observe, it started, and if you observe here, it dropped the table. If it is exist, then it created it. You can see the statement here, right? We enable somewhere show SQL true. Yeah, this is what we added, so that we can see the SQL statement. and it's open port 5000. So let me verify that. Yeah, 5000. Now what I'll do, I will just go to the Postman and I will try to add a book. Already I believe we have two object in our DB, but let's verify it. Now I'll click on send. ID will be auto generated, so I just pass name and price. Yeah, so those record was deleted. So I added this object. Then what I will do, I will add another object, core Java. Then I will add 499999. Now click on send. It is taking few seconds to connect, to make a connection. So if you observe, the ID is 2. Now you can add one more book. I will add Spring. Then I will make it 999. Click on send. Yeah, so if you observe, we added 3 records, right? Now how I can verify this? So what you'll do, just go to your MySQL and create a new connection. Give a name something, Java Techie RDS, and then copy the host, or what I can say, the domain. Copy this, then come here. Instead of this host name, give this. Click on OK. Then you just need to give your password. Okay. Yeah. So I will give my password. This password we set while creating the RDS instance. Now click on OK. You can see here the schema name, right, which is Java Techie, and we are in the Java Techie RDS connection. Now go here. If you observe, it created the table called book and the sequence because we enabled auto generated ID. Now let me open this. We could see 3 record. So let's open it. Yeah, so we have 3 record, right? 1 Hibernate, 2 Core Java, and 3 Spring Framework. Now this integration part is working. Now what is our intention? We just want to move this credential, which is sensitive information of my application, to AWS Secrets Manager. So let's remove this right away. Then go back to our AWS Manager, Secrets Manager, and let's create a secrets. So click on this store a new secret. Then we are just going to use for RDS, right? Credential for RDS database. Similarly, if you observe, you can use the document DB, which is DynamoDB. Credential for Redshift. Credential for other database. You can also add the key value pair also. Okay. So what I will do, I will just choose the RDS. Then give the username, which is root. Then password, we set it password only. So password, yeah. The P is caps. So we added this. Now select the encrypted key, make it default only. So if you observe, select which RDS database this secret will access. So if you have multiple RDS instance, you can choose which you want. So I will use this Java Techie DB because we have only one instance. Now click on next. Then give the secret name. I will give something DB credential, or I will name it Java Techie DB credential. If you want, you can add any description, added data source, something like that. Okay. If you want to add any additional key value, you can add it. So that's how we can read from your application. Now what else I just need to set? Secret name, description. This should be data source. Fine. Now click on next. Then next, configure automatic rotation. So that's what we discussed, right? If you enable this automatic rotation, in future if you are going to change your credential, you no need to change in your application.properties or any kind of environment variable. That will be taken care by this AWS Secrets Manager. He will keep on pulling the latest information from your RDS instance. So now I don't want to enable it because I will delete this RDS instance after this tutorial. So better to not enable now. And anything else, new AWS Lambda function name. This is what the function name. Click on next. So just review it. We created secret type RDS database, and this is what the encryption key and the secret name Java Techie DB credential. Just review it, and it's specific to the language which we are using, they will give the code. So just copy this and paste it somewhere. So I will add in my Sublime Text. We are going to use the same piece of code to get those secrets. So we are adding the secrets of our RDS instance in this AWS Secrets Manager, but how we can retrieve it from our Spring Boot application. That's how they are suggesting the code. If you are using Java, you can use this. It's for JavaScript, .NET, Python, Ruby. You can use the language specific piece of code. Okay. Now just click on Store so that it will create your secret. So if you observe, it created the secret store. Now you can directly use this. Okay, so this piece of code, let me copy this. Now I will go to the IntelliJ IDE and I will create a class called app-config. Let's say Java class application config. Then we just need to annotate @configuration. So what exactly we are going to do in this application config class? Since we removed our data source related properties from our application to AWS Secrets Manager, we want to fetch those value and we just want to create the data source object here. Okay, then we can inject that data source to our JPA and we can get access to our DB. That's what the intention to write the code in this application config. And AWS people already suggested the code to get the secrets from the secrets manager. So just copy this piece of code and add it. Then we just need to add the import statement, but before that we need to add the dependency in our pom.xml for this AWS secrets manager. So let's go to the pom.xml, then just add these two dependency. So one I added JSON and another I added SDK for AWS Secret Manager. Okay, so if you want, you can remove the version, but let it be. Just save it. Now go to your application.config, but what I will do, I will just re-import it. Go to the Maven, re-import. Now go to your application.config and let's import the classes. Okay. So let me import all the classes. Fine. So let me remove all the unused code. So these comments, I don't want to add it. Just remove it. Then I just want to keep only one catch block, so we no need to add multiple catch block here. So I can directly remove this. Okay, just add it. Then I can directly catch the exception, which is the super class, right? Then just remove this. Just print the log here if required. And also you don't want this comment, just remove it. Fine, I don't want this else part. Fine. So if you observe, so basically we created this AWS Secret Manager and then we provided our region. Then from this client we are getting the secret value request and with the secret name we are getting the secret value. So this piece of code given by AWS platform itself. Okay. And if you observe, this is what the secret name we created. And now if you observe, the secret is type string and we'll get the value in the format of string. And from the string, if I want to extract the data source URL, username, password, I may need to go with multiple substring operation, right? So what I will do, I will create a DTO class so that I can directly map this string to the DTO using the JSON. So that's the reason I added this JSON dependency. Okay, so let's do that. Let me create a DTO called AWS Secrets. So let's go to the project. I'll create a DTO class, new Java class, AWS Secrets. Okay, fine. So in this AWS Secrets class, I will add couple of attribute. I will add this username, password, host, engine, port, and DB instance identifier. Okay, since we added Lombok, I can directly use annotation @data. We want all argument constructor. We want no argument constructor. Okay, that's it. Now using JSON, I just wrap those string to this AWS secrets. So go to your config class. Let me zoom this. Yeah, here we can write. So before that, first let me create the object of JSON, private JSON json equal to new json. Okay, so I added in the method, so just add it in class level. Fine. Now, so I will change this method return type to this class AWS secrets. Then what I will do, I will just wrap it here. So I will write something, I will write return JSON. Okay, well, it's not visible here. So let's remove this static and let's make this method as also private. Okay, private, because we are not directly exposing somewhere from this particular method, we are going to build the data source. So you can make it private. Now what I'll do, I'll just type JSON dot from JSON. Okay, so give the string JSON and map to the expected class. So I'll use the second one. So my string is secret and then the class type is AWS secrets. Okay, dot class. Now I can directly return here null. Fine. So from this method we'll get all the secrets, which is our data source properties. Now we just need to build the data source object. So what I will do, just create a bin of data source public, then data source, then just get the secrets from this AWS secrets. So I will name it AWS secrets equal to this method call. Okay, now I will directly use return data source builder. Then you can just click on create, then add all the properties here. Okay, so let's format it properly. Pass the driver class name, just add empty now, then just pass the URL, just pass the username. This is how we usually create the data source, right? Just add password, then just build it. Fine. Now these properties, driver class name, URL, username and password, we can get it from our secrets. So just add it here. So what I'll do, I'll simply type secret dot get username. Similarly, you can pass secrets dot get password. Similarly, you need to pass the driver class name and URL. Okay. Then what we can do, let's try the driver class name com dot MySQL. I'm not sure whether we need to add this driver class name, because while creating the RDS itself we choose the MySQL, right? So as of now let's comment this. If we found some exception then we'll add it. Okay, but let me write that cj dot jdbc dot driver. Fine. So if we found any exception then we'll add this driver class name, otherwise we'll go with this URL itself. So just add the URL JDBC, then this should be secrets dot get engine, get host, get port, and this is what your schema name. So I removed from this application dot properties, but if you observe, this is how we structurized our URL from this AWS RDS endpoint. Okay, now I'll simply annotate it at the red bin. Fine. So we created data source object. Now we have JPA, so we can directly access it. So let me move this to class level. Fine. So only one thing we need to do, we just need to set our AWS credential. Okay, so what I can do, I will directly write here with AWS or with credentials. Then I will use something called new AWS static credential provider. Then again we need to add the basic credential, new basic AWS credential. Just give your access key and give your secret key. So to get those information access key and secret key, there is something, okay, just remove it. To get your access key and secret key, just go to your AWS management console. Now if you'll click on here, you can see this my security credentials, right? Just click on this. Then if you check here access key, just click this. This is what my access key and secret key. So I didn't copied my secret key, so what I'll do, I'll just delete this, or what I'll do, I'll just inactivate it and I'll create a new one. Fine, just create new access key. This is what my access key and secret key. So let me copy this. Now what I'll do, I'll just go to the IntelliJ. Either you can write this in your application.properties or YML file. So let me add it here, then we'll get it from our application.yml. Project application.yml. Just add it, cloud AWS region. This is what our region, auto false. Now in credential you can see these two attribute, right? Access key and secret key. This already we did in multiple video or tutorial which I covered so far in AWS playlist. So you can check this, okay, how you can configure your access key and secret key, and how you can get your access key and secret key from IAM. Okay, now I directly get it from my profile, but you can get it from the IAM as well. You just need to create a user and group and you can get it. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this. This is what my access key. Go to the YML, add in access key. Similarly, let me copy this. This is what the secret key. Just add it. Fine. Now I'll remove this from the code and will directly load from the application.yml. So what I'll do, I'll write private string access key, private string secret key. Then you already know how we can fetch properties from YML file. So just use @value annotation, then just pass the hierarchy. Or how I can do here, you can write dollar. Then if you go to the application.yml, I need to add cloud credentials access key. Sorry, cloud AWS credential and access key. So let me go to the code, cloud.aws.credentials dot access key. Okay, so let's go to the application.yml file. Let me copy this. Also let me copy this. So you need to pass the proper signature here, otherwise it will not load value from your properties file. So just add it. Similar way I can load for secret key, right? So just change this to secret key. Fine. Now what I'll do, I'll just add here. Let me maximize this. Yeah, so we'll not hard code, we'll directly use this access key and we'll use this secret key. Fine. Now everything we configured. Now our application should fetch all the data source related properties from AWS Secret Manager and it should establish connection successfully. Now what I will do, I will just stop this and I will restart the application. So just restart it. Yeah, so if you observe, again it dropped the table and it created. So let me check one thing. Let's go to the application.properties file. Okay, we did the mistake. Spring JPA -at DDL auto, we set it to create, so that whenever you will start your application, it will always drop the table and it will recreate. So you should make it update. Okay, that's fine. It's just demo class, so I make it create, but make sure real time you should not use this create. You should use update. Okay, so let's make it create because already we start the server with the create option. Now let's go to the Postman and try accessing this endpoint. So it should store object to the DB. Now if you will go to the MySQL instance, if I will run this, there should not be any object. So let's run it. Yeah, you can see the empty table. Now let me click send. Fine. The ID again created from 1 because table recreated and name Spring. This is what the object. Now let's add the core Java one. Fine. Now click on send. Yeah. So ID is 2 and core Java price 499. Now if you will refresh it, you can see two entry 1 and 2. Now we have one get API, I guess. Click on get. Call this. You should see only two records. Yeah, ID1 and ID2. And also we have one get API. Based on ID we can fetch it. Click on send. Yeah, we got the response. So this is how you can segregate your sensitive information of your application to some centralized place, which is AWS Secrets Manager. Okay, that's all about this particular video, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Meet you soon with a new concept.